The IRS data shows our photographer was in a tight spot financially.
There's the court ruling. His ex-wife took everything she could. She took the car, holiday house, and alimony. She even tried to take his cat. She must have had a good lawyer.
His cat? What did he do to make her so spiteful?
I don't know, but it looks like the cat was all he got to keep. She took everything else, including massive alimony.
There are a lot of debtors involved with this case. They've all been keeping in close contact recently, too.
Lamont, while you were busy fixing that toy for the umpteenth time, I put Lee on redial. He keeps declining my calls, except now, his number can no longer be reached. Looks like he won't be coming to us. We'll have to...
Detectives. Pleasant day, isn't it? How's the investigation? Anything interesting to share? No? Well, unlike you, I've managed to learn something quite curious.
Miss Fox, you seem very keen to share this information.
I'm expecting something in return later, detectives. But for now, down to business. You remember the presentation that took place after the photo shoot? Well, it turns out Lee Douglas was invited as well. He just never showed up. The most prominent people of the fashion world were gathering there. New connections, contacts, orders. It's too fantastic of an opportunity not to show up. I also learned He'd never taken any special photos of anyone else before. I hope Natalie wasn't having an affair with that loser. He's not her type at all. Well, it's almost time for my next meeting. I'll be leaving. But don't forget about our little agreement, detectives.
So we have a possible affair between Lee and Natalie, incriminating evidence against McChug, a $1 million insurance certificate, and Ray on the run.
That's 3 suspects in total. No direct evidence, just theories. Speculating only gets you so far.
You're right. We need to get... Oh, hey, give me a minute. The captain's calling.
Detectives. Shane. You'll have to wait a moment. Part of the body's still in the water. I'll call you when everything's ready.
So what was the rush? Anyway, I'll share what I found while we wait. The sweat, grease deposits, and eyelash on the dress belong to the same person. I compared DNA samples. It's not Ray Church. There's also 2 hematoma clusters on the body. The first cluster is in the chest. Usually, these stem from strong blows or botchy medical treatments. They could have appeared during or after death. It's hard to say. The second cluster is in the lower back. That area of the dress also has fingerprint density. The combination of sweat, grease, and hematoma clusters could only occur if the body was lifted.
Considering the natural sitting position of the body, I would say it was carried from somewhere. Natalie wasn't murdered by the fountain. The crime scene was all staged. There was no robbery gone wrong.
Let's not cross off any suspects yet. Ray could have easily hired someone and come to the crime scene to make sure the deed was done. He could have been trying to claim the $1 million worth of proceeds. However, the insurance agency did say the money hadn't been claimed yet. He could be waiting for the right moment.
You'll have to wait for the DNA test results before I can confirm the identity of the victim is Ray. For now, I estimate the time of death between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. The body was thrown into the river. Judging by the nature of the injuries and strength of the blows, I'd say the killer is a man with good physical strength.
Yeah, and a psychopathic temperament.
It could have been a crime of passion. In any case, we can't cross Ray off the suspect list for Natalie's case until we have a more accurate time of death.
Guess we'll wait for the autopsy results then. I mean, the guy could have killed his girlfriend and then gotten into a fight with someone.
Agreed. Let's return to the crime scene and help examine it. There are 2 sets of footprints in the sand. It rained last Tuesday, so these tracks could be preserved from Tuesday night. Eddie, cast the prints. One set probably belongs to Ray. The second one may be our killer.
Hey, I found the murder weapon. There's blood and hair on this rock.
Be careful, Torino. There are barbs on the lower side of this thing. Look, there's blood on the handle, too. It must be the DNA of our killer. Eddie, please send the rod to the lab immediately.
So the killer hurt their hands. Lamont, remember how McChug and Douglas had similar cuts? These murders could be connected.
That would mean someone killed both victims. McChug has motive and a weak alibi. Douglas disappeared and he also has a weak alibi. The question is, why would he do it?
It could be related to the insurance proceeds. Let's suppose Ray decided to murder his girlfriend. He thought he needed an accomplice, which could have been Lee. The two were on the phone a lot last month.
$1 million would be enough to pay Lee's debts and allow Ray to live a prosperous life. They could have planned the murder together, killed Natalie, and then had a fight?
Detectives, we have information on Ray Church. His fellow club members were practicing in the park. I managed to ask them a few questions. Looks like Ray wasn't overly liked in the club. He always insisted he was better than them, and he claimed he had an amazing future in store.
That's oddly surprising. Did you learn anything else?
Ray had a friend, Lucas Delgado. Apparently he's ill-tempered as well. Thing is, Ray stole Natalie from Lucas a year and a half ago.
How did Lucas react to that?
It tore apart their friendship. Apparently, they were always bickering and getting into fights after that.